Thank you very much for having me on the show. Brick Eagle follows a six dimension or a six part sustainability principles: energy, water management, waste management, air management, biomass management, and earth materials, construction material management. So let me just walk you through each one of this. On energy, let's take a project like the Sheltrex Karjat project, the smartphone city project that we're doing in Karjat near Mumbai. Our goal has been to see that we can become energy efficient first. I'm happy to share that we have cut down on our energy requirements down to about 50% of what a conventional building would need elsewhere. This we have achieved by use of energy efficient fixtures and by optimizing the need for energy in individual home. Instead of giving high intensity equipments, we have been able to source and design and offer energy efficient design equipments for consumers. So that way we have been able to reduce the overall energy requirement for the building. Now that's not all. What we decided to do was, since our capital cost was coming down because of the efficiency of energy design that we have done, we decided that we will go solar on at least providing lights, fans, television, and mobile phone charging. I think these are the four things, perhaps in a reverse order, for customers today in an urban context. We said we would provide that 24/7 without the need for grid supported power for individuals. So we're happy to share that we have achieved that. Our dream is essentially to go completely off the grid and perhaps even start supplying power back to the grid, to the government. Okay, I think we could achieve that in the next about 2 years or so. So this is how we have achieved sustainability in energy in an affordable fashion. So it's in fact saved us money. It's going to save huge amount of money for our customers as well. Okay, post occupancy. On the water management part of it, we have clearly designed it in such a way that our source, our storage, our distribution and disposal is managed in a sustainable fashion. We are, for instance, in Karjat again with 104 acres of land, we are going to be harvesting close to about 1.75 crores liter of water every year, and not a drop of water we want to waste. We want to recharge underground aquifer systems, and we are not going to do any deep bore wells because there's no need for doing any deep bore wells in this project. The shallow aquifers are fantastic even today, which is very rare in a country like India today. We are blessed with such beautiful aquifers in this particular project. So we're going to be depending on the groundwater, shallow aquifer system for supplying water for the community. And every drop of water that comes out of the home, in fact 80% of the water that comes into your house and my house is let out every day, right? That's wastewater that goes out of the house. But we are going to be recycling that water and sending it back to the flush tanks so that your toilet flushes can operate on recycled grey water. Then we take the black water that comes out of the toilets and recycle them, use it for gardening purposes and for car wash. Okay, and the rest of it is going to be treated and put back into the underground aquifers as well. So our freshwater need is only about 30% of that of a conventional building. Okay, so I'm happy to share that in Karjat project there will be no water shortage for maybe 100 years. Okay, and this is the design we are going to replicate across the Brick Eagle family. On the waste management, again, this is going to be a zero waste campus. It starts with segregation of waste at home. So we're going to have composting units within the project. We're going to have a gasifier unit that can supply gas to the community kitchen or the clubhouse, and so on and so forth. So we're definitely going to manage waste. Wherever there is, let us say, hazardous waste or waste like e-waste, we're going to be partnering with NGOs locally so that we can responsibly discard them. I believe that we would have a campus with no government waste truck coming in and taking any waste from our campus. So that's the dream, and I'm happy to share that we're going to be achieving that in the Sheltrex Karjat project that we are working on. So the air management part of it, clearly the need for air conditioning should be minimum in any project. So we can achieve that by making sure that the houses are oriented properly. So we study the sun path, we study the wind patterns, and design the fenestrations, which is the doors and the openings and the windows and the exhaust and so on and so forth, in such a way that we get maximum cross ventilation right through the year. Okay, that way we reduce our dependency on air conditioning for the buildings. And on the biomass, we would be designing. Once again, I'll take the example of Sheltrex Karjat. We would be designing perhaps the world's largest landscape design with only native plants. Okay, most of the native plants are herbal, medicinal in nature, and we are also going to be doing what we call 0 foot miles program, sustainable agriculture within the site, so that at least about 50% of the vegetable needs for about 12,000 homes or 12,000 families that we are going to be bringing into this community get their supplies from within the campus. That's, I think, is fantastic statement to make when we are done, and when we demonstrate that people are actually, they don't need to go outside for buying their vegetables. They can just grow it, they just pluck it out of their own garden, and then it's going to be fresh, it's going to be organic, it's going to be 100% chemical free, poison free, it's going to be healthy, people are going to just love it. This, I believe, is very fundamental to our biomass management. Now the last one, but not the least, is how do we bring down the weight of the building in such a way that we make it less intensive on use of construction materials. Okay, this could directly save in terms of carbon emissions. Okay, our buildings will be about will save about 60 to 70% on carbon emissions by just use of local materials, less carbon intensive material, less embodied energy materials, and materials that come from, say, not more than about few kilometers radius from the project. For instance, in Sheltrex Kovai project, the Coimbatore project that we are designing now, we are going to be using boulder rocks which are available locally. So we're going to be constructing boulder concrete walls and roofs and so on and so forth, and use of this directly results in greater benefit for the customers, because the buildings are going to be sturdier, it's going to be better, structurally far superior, and fantastic for the environment, because we're going to be releasing less carbon emission in the process of construction and in the use of the buildings. Because they are natural, they're going to be breathing, living, and giving much more living comfort for the customers. So that's our ultimate aim, and we are marching towards that in Brick Eagle. Thank you very much.